Everyone, let's start with the second part of the Accenture interview first round. So the next question they ask me, did you ever use interface and abstraction class in your code, right? Or anytime you get to chance to work in that areas? Basically, oops concept they want to understand from myself. So they also asked me write an interface and try to implement in the one class. So that was very basic code, right guys? So but you have to careful about it, like you should prepare yourself. So they anybody can ask you, because you are something having more than 4 and 5 years of experience, so they can ask you such kind of code, because that is something they expect from you. You are coming from that get background where you have the development experience. Okay. And the next question is they ask me what are the difference between database dot query locator and the iterator in batch class, right? So as you know, we have these two mechanism to get the records from the server. So what are the difference and why we use database query locator and why we use the iterator? What are the use cases for it? So you can give the answers accordingly. And the next question they ask me, can we call the future method from the batch classes? So that's what I think we cannot call it. And the second question they ask me, can we call the one batch class from the another batch class? That the questions you can also say no. And the another question they ask, what are the two kinds of S objects in Salesforce, right? So there are two types of S object, set of object and non set of object. So that's what you can give the answer accordingly as per your understanding. And now let's come to the LWC part. So they ask me couple of questions from the LWC part as well. What is the purpose of to use the track decorator in LWC? And Salesforce has updated, but what are the places where we still need the track decorator, right, in the LWC component? And the next question they ask me, how do you handle event in LWC, right? So that's what you can also seek the answers accordingly. And the other questions they ask me, how can you handle styling in LWC? And the important questions they ask me, what is the role of at the rate Salesforce schema in LWC? So that's what the questions they ask me. And definitely guys, I'm saying this connect what it's called connected callback and render callback, these are the very important method, right? So whenever you are going to face the interview, just prepare yourself in that part as well, right? And some basic understanding, right, about it. And what is the significance of the render method, right? So they as I already told you, what is the significance of the render method in LWC, why we use it, what are the business scenario where you are getting to use it. And the next question they ask me, how, let's say if you need to debug the LWC component, then how will you debug it, what are the mechanism you will follow, right? And apart from it, they also ask me some questions from the integration side, basically. So they ask me, how can you ensure data synchronizations between Salesforce and external database, right? How can you ensure data synchronizations between Salesforce and the external database? Okay. And the another question they ask me, what are the difference between outbound integrations and inbound integrations, right? They ask me, tell us about the different authentication auth 2.0 authorizations flow are available in Salesforce. What are different auth 2.0 authorizations are available in Salesforce? So there are multiple refresh token, web server authentications, user agent, username, password, access token. So these all are there. And they also ask me, let's say we have the Salesforce ecosystem and we need to integrate it with the there is one pricing cell, one is the product from the other third party applications, you can say, don't need to make it more complicated. So wherever all product prices are stored in that system, so whenever user is trying to add the product, it should hit one request to the third party applications and get the pricing from there. So they ask me, just tell me about what exactly your approach to get and complete these integrations between Salesforce and third party applications. And we also need to make sure we are using the security mechanism. If yes, then what security mechanisms you are using, what authorizations and authentications you are using, right? So these kind of questions they can ask you. And so they can also ask like, what are the remote site setting and name credentials, and what are the difference between these two. So they can also ask you about these. And the other questions they ask me, where did you use web services in your integration if you had the experience? So where did you use that? So that's kind of guys, interview questions and answer coming from the integration side. So stay tuned to the Salesforce helping hand channel. Third part will be coming soon.